5. There you go.
Welcome to the kicking the peanut and cracking the corn. Hee-ha!
Cracking the corn.
As you would say, my friend.
Yeah.
Sorry for the car driving by, but I'm enjoying the lovely rain outside while I join you guys for the lovely Kicking the Peanuts show, which is, it's the 17th of September today. And
It is.
in the great year of 2023. Ugh.
I wouldn't call it a great year, but it is a very historically significant one. That is true.
Absolutely. There is some crazy crap going on these days. Anywho, aside from these historic cars driving by, I am the lovely who is Alice, and I am brought to you with...
I am Alexander, and the Loon should be here relatively soon. We'll see.
Heck yeah! Ooh, that's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo. So that will be fun when we talk about the conspiracies of the moon landing and stuff like that, and NASA.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's going to be in part of our show today. Anyways, how's your last 2 weeks been since we didn't do our show last week? We had a very impactful last couple of weeks, right?
Oh yeah, the past couple of weeks have been very eventful off camera. Yeah, like.
Oh yeah.
Anybody watching this has probably seen that I've been very fluctuating, for lack of a better term, with my history show and the news show and all that stuff because I've been dealing with other things in the background that have been needed to be done for quite some time. But yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. How about you, Alice?
Well, aside from work, and all that fun stuff, I had a very, very good, I had a very productive week when it came to, work at my store and stuff, when it came to certain sales and stuff I'm supposed to make. But, I don't, make really commission off of it, so, I just do it because it's what's expected of me. I think might be, I'm gaining an employee, but I'm also, I think, possibly losing an employee. And then tomorrow I'm going to help my friend out with Meals on Wheels and go help her deliver food to some people in need.
That's awesome. And we've just been joined by
the Golden Loon.
Welcome to the show.
Hey,
thank you. Hi.
Well, hey, that's cool that you're doing the Meals on Wheels thing. And, we've been friends for, what?
Couple years.
3 years,
2.5, 3 years, something around there.
Non-consecutively, but still.
Whatever.
Well, every friendship has hiccups, every relationship has hiccups. But, But anyway, no, you told me that the turnover rate at your store specifically is very high. And I myself have seen, you lost a manager, you lost another manager, and then you've been losing people while you've been an interim manager off and on. And you've been, the longest person on record at your store.
On record?
On record.
Not on record. There was this one lady who was a store manager there for, 15 years, so she has me by many years. But she ended up quitting when she found out that she wasn't going to be moved upward, apparently. Which is neither here nor there, but she's doing good now from what I heard. I've never actually met her, but I know who she is and everything.
Wish her the best of luck here. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. From what I understand, she's doing good. And I wish I'd never lost my last manager because her and I were a really good team. Between her and I, we get shit done. So, but she's doing good where she's at now, and so, I'm happy for her. She's turning that store around. Unfortunately, I'm just kind of like a child in a candy store lost sometimes.
Huh.
But
aren't we all?
Yeah, it's always always tough to lose part of a good team. No question about that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I know that very well recently. So, yeah.
It just started raining, so if you hear this background noise, that's because we have some ambient rain.
That's what that is. I heard something. I didn't know what it was, but now that makes sense. It's rain.
Yep, we got some rain. Blame it on the rain.
But what about you, Sir Loon?
Oh, man.
How's your past 2 weeks been?
2 weeks?
Yeah.
I can hardly remember yesterday. What are you talking about? Mine is, we did an awesome deal down in Temecula, which is about 50 miles away, on Friday night. That was my nephew's playing in a band down there, and it was really great. That's the only fun part I can mention in the last 2 weeks. Business has just sucked. full-blown recession out here in California.
Yeah.
Nothing but bad news there, so I don't even want to go into it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's kind of the nutshell.
Well, we discovered that new hangout place.
What's that? Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like
new coffee place for us outside at a. It's a horse stop.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, no, like, see, the Loon got an idea to go out yesterday in the morning and we drink tea, because, you know, we always go every Sunday morning and drink coffee.
Yeah.
And we went to the Overlook because it's actually been very unusually cool and cloudy and, you know, stuff here. And we went up to the Overlook yesterday and we saw that all the benches were gone because well, it's temporary, but, like, because that up at there's like a whole bunch of wealthy people, and all the rich kids constantly damage the benches. They destroyed 3 cameras. They've destroyed the bathrooms. They've graffitied stuff. They get up there up like because like there's a parking lot, and then there's like, you know, the you know, recreational area. Like it's more like a sitting and hangout area. It's not really a park.
Yeah, they hang out there on the weekend nights.
But they go up there and they smoke dope and everything at night, and then they drive their car up over the lip and into do donuts. There's a like little patch over there. Like it's hard to explain. But
spoiled rich kids.
Spoiled rich kids. And one of them apparently is like the son of some police captain or something. So they just like So they get
caught
nothing.
him and let him go.
Yeah. So like they just continuously do all this damage. So this is why we can't have nice things. Now we don't have benches in our, you know, great, you know, we can overlook all the way out to the ocean. And now we have no benches because a couple of spoiled brats had to ruin it for everybody.
Like,
so
sometimes you just want to sit down and appreciate the view, not stand and be like, damn it. Yeah. Appreciate the view.
Yeah.
Kids don't.
Don't get me wrong, standing's good for you, but like sometimes you just need to sit and relax.
Well, you know, we go up there, we hang out for about an hour. We sit there, drink coffee, talk, hang out. You know, it's a cool little thing. You know, like once a week.
You can literally see, you know, when the sun's right and everything else clear and
you
all.
see all the way to Catalina.
Catalina, which is 26 miles off the coast.
Yeah, it's an island.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can see Catalina Island? Damn!
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, you know, this is a gorgeous view, and now because of a couple spoiled brats, we don't have benches there to sit down and, you know, conversate. It's
Now what you need to do, I think I know what you need to do now, buddy. You guys need to get those little, like, tripod, like, little sitting things that you can just hold in your hand.
Yeah.
And then just like extend it and just sit there right on the crosswalk and have like your own little triangular set. Like, yep.
Yeah, they have cup holders too.
Yeah.
You know, let's do that.
Yeah. We will overcome these teenagers.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Then you have like a little nice comfortable thing. You don't have to put your coffee on the ground. You have a cup holder. And you can sit there and go, yep.
Yeah. This is it.
You put like an over the shoulder, like you know, fold out chair, like the kind of chair I have.
No, you know, we have those. We take them with us.
I was afraid you were going with over the shoulder boulder holder. I'm going, wait, we don't need one of
those.
That's
where my brain went too.
Oh, that's sick.
No,
you're telling me, excuse me. My brain has turned into yours. Oh my god!
Or is mine turned into yours?
Oh my god!
Or is this some kind of mutual metamorphosis thing that's going on?
Dude, I thought the same thing when I said over the shoulder, like chair holder.
Oh, we are a gaggle.
Oh man!
But like, man, and then you had to bring it up.
I couldn't let that thought go.
Oh Boobies. God, of course not.
Boobies.
I see nothing. I would look. You know what I'm going to say.
Well,
yeah.
What? There's a band out there. One of their albums is called "Hooray for Boobies." What was?
Hooray for Boobies.
Yeah. I forgot what they're called. Hold on a second. Hooray for Boobies album. Bloodhound Gang. That's right.
Bloodhound Gang. Yeah, that band's great. But they're not together anymore.
I'll give you a quick boob joke, and I'll just do the hot. This is from a comedian. I can't remember who. He was talking about his first visit to Mars and what Martians were like. He says, well, they're smaller people, but they're basically like humans, except the one strange thing is the boobs are on women's backs. And he goes, oh, that's horrible. He goes, no, it's nice for dancing.
Oh my god. Oh, well. What the hell?
Jesus Christ, Pops.
Enough of the boob jokes.
Anyway, before we move on to our main topic, so I do want to say, like, you know, there was, you know, one thing, you know, and I've already spoken about it a couple of times, once to the Loon here, actually, earlier this morning. But like earlier this week, I was approached by one of Gray's friends.
Really?
Like in DMs, yeah, and they're asking on behalf of somebody else. They're coming to me because I was a historian, and this is the first time really, like, I've really, been come at with this, intention, as somebody actually asking somebody, like, and I've considered myself a historian for a while, but like, I really am teaching people. And
you know a lot about history. I'll give you that.
I know a lot more than I previously thought I did. Like, but anyway, what happened was they were asking how much I think about the Roman Empire, and all that stuff, and I'm like, well, blah blah. It has been said 1,001 times that the American Empire, the U.S. Empire, is very much like, and we are an empire. Come on, but like very much like Rome, and very much like Rome, our entire economy is now based off military. Like Halliburton is one option. Like war is no longer about politics; it's about money. We've somehow industrialized and turned it into a business.
War is profitable, no question.
So, our entire economy is based off of that. Professional sports are more or less the same as gladiatorial games back then. It was a distraction. Feed the people, entertain them, and then you can get away with doing whatever. Now a lot of politics and stuff have been going into sports the past couple of years, but as far as the whole purpose of it, and then I started going off on like other things like Rome. At one point conquered Egypt. Now the last ruler of Egypt before Rome was Cleopatra, and she was of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Ptolemy was a general of Alexander the Great, and when he died, he said, "My empire will go to the strongest."
Greek though.
Let me finish. Yeah, she was Greek. This is like, I'll get to that. So like I'm just going on a history tangent. So when Alexander the Great died, he said, "My empire will go to the strongest," and he had like 5 or 7 generals or something, and his empire split into 5 or 7 smaller ones. One of them was Egypt, led by Ptolemy, and then his bloodline descended down to Cleopatra, who then ended herself with an asp bite, one of the snakes, an asp, ASP, highly venomous and such. But that's really interesting how Alexander the Great ties into the Roman Empire, and then by extension after that, as we all know, Rome separated into East and West. Constantinople was the capital of the Eastern Empire, Roman Empire. Then that got conquered by the Ottomans, and then the Ottoman Empire fought in World War I, got dissolved, and then now it's Turkey, and now it's Istanbul, Turkey. Like, I just went over like 4,000 years. Yeah. Like, that is crazy, That is some crazy stuff.
That is epic, dude.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Well, like that just came out of my head. Oh. Like I knew all this. Like I went on this whole thing. I'm like, wow, I really do know a lot. Like I'm impressed myself.
Pat yourself on the back and move on.
Well, it's not about that.
I know. I'm being a wise.
Okay. Anyway, let's get into our topics here today. The first one here is we have a doctor who studied 5,000 near-death experience cases claims there is life after death, and I covered this. I believe I covered this, or maybe I didn't. I think this was supposed to be...
We brought it up.
No, like this was during the Omni Coalition news show, the Talkness. There's one of those articles. But it goes on to say here, a Kentucky oncologist who studied nearly 5,000 near-death experience cases over the last 37 years claims he has come to believe that there is certainly an afterlife. And actually, let me start an underbar link storage thing here. But
he's an oncologist, so he studied people, like, oncology is like, generally speaking, like cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, like, so that's his primary thing. He's just been doing this as a side study. But this is a very interesting read. So.
And so he's coming to the conclusion that there is life after death, right?
Well, that's what he's saying. Another thing is, like, as I always say, everything ties together. What if, instead of dying, we're passing... Because, we are passing to a new life. But what if we're passing to the 4th dimension? Like we're going from this phase to another phase. Like.
Well, let me get down to real simplistic terms so I understand it. You know? That's always the issue for me. When I was a kid and everything, it was pretty well thought that, you know, we were the only life in the universe type thing. You know, it didn't make sense that we were. Now, the odds of that are so minimal. You know, for certain it's teeming with life. Okay, well, let's take our lives. To think this dimension is the only dimension there is really, really silly. There's got to be multi-dimensions out there. There just has to be. So there you go. Life after death? Sure. What in the dimension we go to? I can't answer that, but it's got to be dimensional.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, the whole thing about, like, you know, angels and demons.
And then you go heaven and hell, so there's tons of dimensions.
Yeah. That's what I was just saying. Like, you know, angels, demons, intergalactic, interdimensional beings, aliens, time travelers. What if everything is true? It's just a matter of perspective. Yeah, sure. You know?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Well, this reminds me, like, I had this book called, like, I think The Meaning of Death or something. I can't remember what it was called. I found it at like a thrift store for like $1.50. And this guy, he talked about the last moments up to death, what people like experienced, like from various types of like experiences of dying. Like some people were terminally sick, some were like in a coma, somewhere in a car accident that they were still conscious but they were dying, and this person was able to go through the body experience of what the body goes through with death. And it's a really interesting book, but like when my mom saw that book in my arsenal, she thought I was like gonna go kill myself. I'm like, no, Mom.
This book is
well, you remind me
about
because
like the studies of like people approaching death and what happens to the body when it goes through it from different various stages, from different various things. It's an interesting thing because death is the unknown.
Yeah, following the light and then being turned back type of thing.
Yeah, like what is like your earliest memory? Body. Yeah. Oh, my cat's trying to nuzzle my phone now. But like, you know, it's a crazy thing like how death is. Like the one thing that all binds us that we're all gonna die one day.
Yep. No question about that.
Yeah, that's one thing we'll all share in common is that we'll all die one day.
Yep.
So, I mean, like
the old saying, we'll never get out alive.
Yeah, this is one thing that's life is terminal.
Yep.
I'm trying to find a short. That's not it. A short movie right now because like we're talking about like life after death and all that stuff, and you're talking about a book, and this is a book I have. Speaking of books, 90 Minutes in Heaven. This book documents the death of the author and resurrection experience in 1989, an actual experience. He wrote about it and everything. And it's a really good book. Apparently, there's a movie about it, and then that's why I'm trying to find, because there's this short video I'm trying to find, and it's about this experiment where they have like this room, and it has like every type of detection feasible down to like an atom, so that way if somebody dies, if there is a soul, if there is something that comes out of you, it can be detected. And it actually imprisons it, and then something evil comes because he wasn't able to ascend, and then it's a really good movie. I'm trying my damnedest to find it.
Well, you also reminds me of like the movie with Robin Williams, I think is what it's called, where he dies to save his wife or whatever, or to be with his wife. I think it's What Dreams May Come. But it's a Robin Williams film.
He did a lot of great stuff.
Really good cinematography too in it.
Why can't I find this dang thing? Well, speaking of Robin Williams, like what's that one movie about the toy factory and everything? That was a good one too.
Toys?
Yeah.
The movie Toys, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of my favorite movies of his, like, ever.
It's a good movie. I didn't even know about it. It's really good. Why is it not, like, more hyped, you know?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, it's really good.
You have a good cast. You have Robin Wright Penn, you have Robin Williams, you have Joan Cusack, not John Cusack. I can't remember the uncle's name. You have LL Cool J. I mean, you have a whole good, like, cast in it. It's a very underrated movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's neither here nor there. But like, Robin Williams did a whole bunch of really cool movies that are just like you don't think of. And like, speaking of, apparently Joe Biden tried to make like during was it 9/11 in Vietnam, he said "Good Evening Vietnam" as a homage to "Good Morning Vietnam" that Robin Williams did for a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, he shot himself in the foot with that. So, yeah, he spent his time on 9/11 in Alaska as well, instead of at like Ground Zero. He's the first president since then to not go to Ground Zero or DC's crash sites or Pennsylvania's, which everybody was pretty upset about, especially with his like withdrawal with Afghanistan. But let's not get into Biden here. But yeah. Well, the only reason why it reminded me of him is because of the Good Morning Vietnam movie that Robin Williams did, and then he just tried to make a joke in Vietnam about it, and nobody laughed.
I can't find that video for the life of me, so...
Well, if you do, what you can do is put it in the underbar below.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to find it to put it there. So.
Yeah, if only. But speaking of our life after that, like, let's move on from that whole thing. What we have next here in our lovely topic of
moon landing conspiracies and such. Yeah. Like,
we've got the moon landings.
There's like 1,001 conspiracies out there and whatnot, and like I've already said this once before and whatnot. Yeah, I've said this a couple of times, and this is not something I came up with. This was something actually told to me. Now, I originally believed that, like, you know, did we land on the moon? Yes, I 100% believe that. Did we do it in 1969? I initially did not believe it, because what better way to piss off, you know, our enemies and beat them to the moon? But at the same time, you look at all the stuff that Russia beat us. They're the first to space, first you know, animal in space, first man in space, first woman in space, first to like get a probe to the moon. They actually landed on Venus, of all places, and it captured a couple photographs before it melted. Like, you know, and we think that landing on the moon is just going to topple all that stuff. Please, no. So you know, but see, here's the thing. Here's what, if there's anything I believe, mostly, I think this is what most likely happened, and why everybody, you know, says there's a conspiracy. I believe that yes, we did land in 1969, okay? And we also faked it. Because when we got there, the solar radiation and everything would have wiped all the tape. So we got there, but we have no evidence because it's all magnetically erased, so we have to stage it again, and that's what started all the, you know, oh, like, what's his face? John Cusack or whatever, like, did it, and he was, like, leaking about it in The Shining. Like, there's that whole thing. Like, you know, once again... Everything is true. The
Shining, like, are you talking about Stephen King's Shining?
Yeah, the movie though, not the book. The movie based off the book, but.
Well, that's Jack Nicholson, not John Cusack in that.
Well, who was the director? Like, I don't.
Oh, Stanley Kubrick.
Kubrick. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
John, I don't know why I just set out a name like Kubrick.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick.
Because they believe that Kubrick is the one who directed the fake moon landing.
Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Well, you've really changed your opinion quite a bit on the moon landing.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you know, solar radiation is a thing, and if we got there, you know, most likely, you know, it would erase the tape, so then we would have to stage it again, and then people would see the discrepancies. Oh, like, this thing is behind something. Oh, where's the multiple shadows, all this stuff. You know, what if we did? You know, what if both is true because of radiation? You know? Like,
well, also, like, there's that, was it called the Van Andreas radiation belt between Earth and the moon?
What's it called again?
By our magnetic shield.
What's it called again?
I think it's a Van Andreas belt or something like that. Something Van Heiser's or not Anheuser-Busch, you know, but
hold on a second.
something belt. It's a radiation belt between us and the moon. And if you say we have like 6-inch, like, the Van Allen. See, I knew it was something.
Yeah. It says here, these trapped particles form two belts of radiation known as the Van Allen belts that surround the Earth like enormous donuts. The outer belt is made up of billions of high-energy particles that originate from the sun, and the inner belt results from the interactions of cosmic rays with the Earth's atmosphere. Oh, wow.
With the magnetic field. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right when you get into that area, like, anything that you're probably going to be put to crap unless you pass through that. Not to mention to say that these people went up into space with, like, just, like, basically tinfoil protecting them from radiation, I find hard to believe.
Yeah, there is all that. Like
radiation. Most people, you wouldn't be able to survive going through that.
Yeah, and then there was also, like, you know, what's a real eyebrow raiser? Is they're going around saying, "Oh, we just don't have the technology to send people to the moon anymore." Like, what happened? Did you lose it all? Like, did it burn in a fire? Like, how do you not have a backup? Like, you have the schematics, just build it. You know, we've done it before. You know, it makes no sense.
Like, it's how you can't even rebuild the Saturn V rocket. You lost the information to how to build the Saturn V.
You know, probably because you know, like, we have such, you know, advanced computing technologies nowadays. Well, just retrofit. You know, like.
Well, we can do it. We're just lying to the American people. They're just lying. Well, this is what NASA stands for. Never a straight answer. Remember that.
Yeah, that is true.
And
so I mean,
the thing was that alien made the moon. You know, it was hollow inside, and you know, it's just in a perfect placement to rotate and guide our tides and everything like that to make it livable.
Well, what's crazy is that the distance of the moon to the Earth, you know, in the size, is the same as the Earth to the sun. So that's why we get a total lunar eclipse. And the moon is the largest moon.
Not lunar, it's a solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse, more people can see. A solar eclipse.
Well, some kind of eclipse,
Solar,
yeah. No, but like the moon, in comparison to its host planet, is the largest ever discovered.
Really? Yeah, no, that I didn't know.
Yeah. So.
Also, check this out about the moon. There's going to be a solar coming up that people from Texas all the way up to, I think, Oregon will be able to see here in the next few days. If not tonight, I think, maybe.
So is that diagonally? Are we going to be able to get it on the West Coast, or is it missing us?
You might be able to see it partial if it's clear.
Yeah.
You're not going to full solar eclipse, and like I said, solar eclipse will happen during the daytime.
Now,
you know, the moon has to go in front of the sun.
Yeah. Now,
I've only seen it once in my life.
I've seen a partial, never full.
I don't think I've seen any. Like, I've never actually
gone
out and looked.
I also remember seeing Haley's Comet when I was young too, and Hale-Bopp.
Oh wait, we saw what was it, Haley's down in Mexico?
Yeah.
In '97.
Yeah.
I was 10 years old.
You saw illegal aliens or just aliens?
No, Haley's Comet.
Oh, Haley's.
Yeah.
Yeah, down in Mexico.
Yep.
Yeah, gosh, Xander, you would have had to been like what, only a year or two old?
No, that was '97. I was 10.
No, that's Hale-Bopp. Haley's Comet came in the 80s.
Then it was Hale-Bopp then.
Oh,
I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember we saw a comet. I know that.
Yeah, no, we did. I thought it was Haley.
I remember seeing Haley's though, like back in the 80s. Yeah, we won't. You might possibly see it one more time in your lifetime.
Maybe.
I think I'll have to be 100 and something. Well, no, it comes every 80 some odd years. So.
Now, there's one thing I really want to talk about, and like I want to jump ahead a couple of topics and then we'll backtrack if you want.
Absolutely, go right ahead, buddy.
But I was just driving, yesterday and
taking the peanut around.
Well, no, I was just driving, like doing whatever, and I just so happened to be like on this one radio show, and they have this segment where they have random people call in and give like cool life hacks, or whatever like that. And I really wish I knew who they were because I'd like to listen to more of it. But I just so happened to hear it, and this lady was saying that instead of laundry detergent, and instead of soap, when she does her laundry, she uses these two magnets that are encased in this rubber plastic material in order to keep the magnets from interacting with the water, keep them from rusting, keep them from harming the clothes and whatnot.
I was wondering how she would preserve.
Now what she did was she put she has two of them. She has one on one side, one on another, and the drum in the washer. Now what she's saying is the magnets ionize the water, which is what soap does. And I don't know that for a fact. This is what she was saying, and it even works against smells and everything. And she's been doing this for over a year. Has not used soap at all, and it's clean. So this could be some groundbreaking knowledge. Sorry, what?
Do you have a link? Could you have a link to show people on the show real quick?
Well, let's look it up. Magnets to wash clothes. Let's see here. Laundry magnets, do they work? Huh, so this is actually apparently a thing. My review of the magnetic laundry system. So, what are laundry magnets? This thing here. The magnetic laundry system is a patented laundry detergent alternative that essentially consists of two magnet balls, one each smaller than your palm, with a rubber/silicone type of material around the outside. They look like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they work?
Well, we'll get that. Magnetic laundry system is a company, okay, yada yada. It's a chemical-free laundry detergent alternative. You only buy it once, so you can save you quite a bit of money. It's more eco-friendly, yada yada. So this could be a whole bunch of yuppie hoo-ha. But let's see here. So it looks like you just put them in there,
yeah, up against the drum.
Well, no, it's not even in the drum. You see?
Oh, you just put them in the
water.
water.
It's on the fabric.
Yeah, I don't know. It starts with the fact that water is a universal solvent. Then you add the fact that the magnets can change the properties of water. Okay, yada yada yada. I need to add this in the underbar of the description because, yeah. So let's see here. Increase the water's natural solvency and make it more able to permeate fabrics to release soil and odors. So the magnets attract the dirt out of your clothes. No, it's not that the magnets attract. They change the property of the water in order to make the water itself clean the clothes more effectively. Huh. And then they were talking about this as well. They were talking about some kind of dryer balls that you can use instead of dryer sheets. In order to fluff in your clothes a little bit more.
To reduce static electricity and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, they have here science tests and everything, so. Huh. This is interesting though, because
Could be yours for $500.
$500?
I don't know. I'm just joking and making up a number.
Oh, I thought you saw something that I didn't. Well, let's see here.
How much can magnets be?
Well, let's see.
But they're not putting them to the side of the drum. They're putting them in the wash, huh?
Yeah. So I'm going to the actual website here, magnetic laundry system. Let me bigger this so I can browse better. Buy now. Let's see. How much are these?
Eco-friendly.
Whoa. Huh. Wow.
Oh yeah. So they're not cheap.
And they ship to the whole world. So that's cool.
All right. Well, maybe if I have $80 lying around with shipping and handling, I'll put this to the test and find out.
Yeah.
I'll put some of Lewis's worst clothing ever if he hasn't washed, and find out if it worked.
Yeah. Do some field tests. But see, here's the thing. It's 2023. You think something like this would be public knowledge, if it actually was true. But then again, as Loon here said.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of money in detergents, and money is power. So you're going to go up against that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't.
It's Tide. You want to go toe to toe with Tide?
Yeah. Well, no. Well.
Or is this a snake oil?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
With the year, you think it's extraordinary, but truth is stranger than fiction. Yeah. What if this is true? This would blow my mind.
Yeah, me
completely
too.
blow my mind
because
there's squelching, but you can't stop a mother from telling a daughter this trick. You can't stop the daughter from telling their friends. You can't stop just word of mouth. In small. This would be known. Maybe
it is known. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
I was making a Game of Thrones reference.
Yeah.
It is known.
But yeah, no, I really just wanted to get into that.
It's a concept I've never considered. I mean, it is something to think about.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, they were talking about magnets. Yeah, I'm like, oh, what kind of new age hokey is this? And then they're like, oh, it ionizes water, and I'm like, huh. Well, the loon here would know a thing or two about that. So then I talked it with him, and he didn't reply with a rolling eyes. So I'm like, maybe this is something, like
might be.
Because you work with magnetism, you work with ionized water, you work with chemicals and all that stuff,
Well, why don't you guys do? You guys work with ionized wire. Why don't you use one of your things and just throw some laundry into it one day and find?
No, we got to keep that clean and pure. So.
I know, I'm just saying. But anyway, speaking of magnets, let's talk about Syria.
So Syria demands us to leave the country. Stealing oil started back in the 70s. What's that about?
Well, basically, like a land grab area, and we've been America has been fucking around with Syria since the 70s or so, and more recently, like the whole Syria conflict that happened during the Obama administration. We really started to do some crazy stuff, and we're basically there was a video I had, and I can't find it right now, and I really wish I had it. Shows you the areas of where our military is at, and even though Syria is in the oil field area, they don't produce as much oil as per se Iraq, which also would go into a whole different kit and caboodle conversation there about how we basically stole Iraqi oil during Bush Jr.'s time in office. But we've been doing it to Syria, particularly during the Obama administration, and we still have not left Syria, and they're demanding us to leave their country now because they're sick and tired of it.
Isn't Syria?
The question is, are we going to leave, or are we just going to say, "Screw you, we're bigger than you"?
Probably not.
Isn't Syria where Gaddafi ruled?
Yeah.
No, was he
Libya?
Libya. Okay, never mind. Oh.
No, not Gaddafi. Gaddafi was a different country.
Gaddafi was Libya.
Libya.
Yeah, that was Libya. I'm sorry. Yeah, Syria. I can't remember what was the name of the guy that was most recently there. But yeah, he was he was usurped essentially, I believe.
Isn't it the son of the father, Syria?
Yeah, something like that. But he wasn't necessarily a bad guy. But they, I think during the Obama administration, they were lying to the American people, saying that he was doing chemical warfare on his own people, when he actually wasn't, from what I understand.
You're talking about Syria, right? Still, or are we talking about Gaddafi now? Because they said the same about Gaddafi.
Oh no, that was Gaddafi. I'm sorry. Yeah, Libya and Syria a bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're both crossing wires here.
yeah, we were both crossing wires.
They're right next to each other, right?
Yeah, well, Libya and Syria, they're not too far from each other. I believe they border one another.
They're in Syria next to Iraq?
But, I know that Syria borders Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Okay, Libya is nowhere near. Okay, Libya's over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Oh, shit. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, so Libya wasn't even... Yep, never mind. Why do we mix those two up? Good Lord.
Well, I mean, it's generally the same geographical area. There's Middle East and Northern Africa, Speaking of Africa, though, what about that Morocco earthquake? You said, 3,000 people are dead now or something?
Whoa, I haven't even heard about it.
Okay, so this was a week, earlier this week, or last week or so, about a week and a half ago, there was a 6.9 magnitude earthquake. And they're saying about 2,000 people are dead now.
Almost 3,000 actually here, 2901, 5 days ago.
Okay, and then also there was, I think Libya just had flooding, and they're saying 8,000 people in Libya died.
Oh, jeez.
The flooding. Yeah, I think it's Libya, too. Look up Libya flooding.
Libya?
I'm pretty sure it was Libya. Yeah, Libya just had a mass flood.
That's a huge, 6.9 is a huge.
11,000, 21 hours ago, 11,300 people. So
dead. So it's up to 11,000 deaths now.
Yeah. According to CNN.
Yeah, they basically got 2 years worth of rain all at once, essentially.
It's a CNN. They're gonna spin it and be like, "Oh, climate change." So
Yeah, I don't care about climate change. Like, you know what? Climate change that's a natural thing that happens, and people need to realize that we're still coming. People need to realize we're still coming out of the ice age. But like between like Syria demanding us to get out, like look what's going on in the Middle East, and like look at it. I mean, it's devastational. Like look at that mud.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's just mud.
Like they were not prepared for this at all. It just happened so quickly.
Man.
I mean, look at how those like, dude. Even so, you see those little concrete little like pegs that look like you know like.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like on a shore break or something. Like.
Yeah, those got moved from the flooding. Look at that, and some of them got destroyed.
I haven't even heard about this.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew about the Morocco one a week ago when Alice told me.
This is just in the last couple of days. Yeah, Libya got mass flooding. Morocco got a huge, massive earthquake. I mean, this is like North Africa just getting devastated right now. Syria is getting pissy with the United States not leaving their country. I mean, and then you have the Euphrates River like drying up.
Okay.
Too.
This is getting weird. Strange lights spotted in Morocco earthquake videos may be a phenomenon reported for centuries, scientists say. So, like, you know how, like, we have those, like, you know, random booms and random things in the sky and everything? Ball lightning is a thing. And now, apparently, there's atmospheric warnings when an earthquake's going to happen. Earthquake lights.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
No, I haven't either.
Well, actually, a lot of times here, let me interject real quickly, Papa Dukes. Sometimes if you see those, have you ever seen those rainbow, like, lucent, like, clouds in the sky? A lot of times they say that that's a certain type of gas that's being expulsed, like, being, like, produced out from the grounds around areas of earthquakes.
Got a tectonic
so
disturbance.
Crazy lights and stuff, yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it's like a geomagnetic thing affecting the atmosphere with it. It's crazy.
I really hope no one judges me for putting a CNN link in the underbar. I only put it in there because I've never heard of this earthquake light thing.
CNN's fine for.
Well, no, they're saying that there's like, well, also like think about this, like how they've seen sprites and severe thunderstorms where, like, as a huge lightning bolt strikes, they see these plumes of like like expulsion of light going up into the sky, into this like stratosphere.
Well, actually, that's how lightning. That's how lightning. Lightnings, like you know, lightning, like, you know, goes off in 1,000 directions. Sure. What it does is all those 1,000 directions. It's the same as like if you electrify a thing of wood, it crawls and tries to find. It crawls and tries to find, like, you know, like the easiest path.
Yeah,
like,
well,
wow.
Always.
I understand that.
Always takes the easiest path.
So, but in some cases, the electricity goes, you know, mostly from the top, but sometimes there's a connection, and then they connect in the midair. So what Alice is saying, you know, is scientifically possible.
Yeah.
To my knowledge.
Well, no, what I'm saying, Xander, though, is sprites are different. Like, look up sprites, lightning sprites. Like, they are different. Like, they don't necessarily always have the same color of the lightning bolt itself.
Oh, you showed this to me, or we saw this before a while ago. First color image of a sprite taken from an aircraft. It says here they're large-scale electric discharges that occur in the mesosphere, high above thunderstorm clouds or cumulonimbus, giving rise to a varied range of visual shapes flickering in the night sky. They are usually triggered by the discharges of positive lightning between an underlying thundercloud and the ground. Huh.
Yeah, well, it's actually cumulonimbus is what that cloud's called, a cumulonimbus cloud.
Okay.
However, like, so what I'm saying is, like, these sprites, like, are also, like, that could explain, like, certain times, like, when the Earth is about to, like, exhaust something, like an earthquake, maybe the Earth is giving off its own sprite, thus giving that light. This is my theory.
Okay.
Not a bad theory. That's why I wanted to bring up sprites into it. There was a method to the madness.
I like the connection. No, I like the connection.
Yeah, no, that's how conversations work. You know, you talk about one thing and then moves into other things.
You know, I'm just kicking the peanut around here, you know, and
cracking the corn.
Giving this, yeah, you're Jimmy Crack Corning, I know, and you don't care.
Nope.
Lightning.
By the way, I found the video I was talking about. Like, no wonder I couldn't find it. Like, I was trying to find, like, life, death, after, you know, it's all about that. The dang thing's called laboratory conditions. Oh. How the hell was I supposed to find that?
You did.
What you should do is put in the underbar below, and then people can watch that. But we can watch it after the show.
You know, I already have it in my notepad to copy-paste after the stream.
Hi-oh!
Yep.
But anyways, like so much shit is going on around the world. Apparently, did you hear about this? So this was something I heard from Benny Johnson, you know, from the Benny Show. Apparently, I think 4 countries in the, in Europe have denied, because right now Zelensky from Ukraine is trying to like pull draft cards and forcing people from Europe to deport men back to service.
What? Yeah. Are you kidding me? What?
4 countries.
How the hell can you do that?
Said no.
Well,
dude, Poland, no. Poland, no. Poland is actually deporting men back to Ukraine.
What the hell?
I'm not kidding. Yeah, for the war effort for Ukraine, because they're running out of men in Ukraine against Russia. And so they're trying to demand European countries of men who have fled for asylum or are citizens that work out there. They're pulling draft cards and telling them that they're being drafted back, and otherwise they're being called draft dodgers. And then like they might have like certain countries, like right now Austria has said no, we're not bringing him back, we're not sending him back to you. Switzerland has said no. Hungary as well. Germany has said no, we're not doing that. We're not sending him back to go die for your cause.
Well, the fact that they're even trying this is just the audacity, you know? Like, what the hell?
Yep. The biggest numbers, though, have to be in Poland.
This is like a little known thing, but no, it wasn't Benny Johnson that was talking to me about, it was Redacted.
Redacted.
About it. Yeah, Redacted was talking about it.
If you can find that, if you can find that and send that to me, that'd be great. Like, you can find it in your history.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, this is crazy.
That is crazy. But speaking of crazy stuff, like we were talking about this earlier, you said that they closed down at St. Joseph's Hospital, and then there's only 2 other hospitals. This is in your area. And
no, this is where I'm from.
Oh.
This is in Minnesota. This is in St. Paul, Minnesota. This happened months ago, but my mom made me aware of it when she got pneumonia and shingles right before I went to go visit her. You remember?
Yeah.
How's she doing, by the way?
She's doing great. She's doing better. She's coloring and drawing and doing her puzzles and harassing, you know, my siblings and me and everything.
Just tell her to give them hell.
No, anyway, I want to get to the point here. Like, you said when they closed down, it was a really big hospital.
There's 3 hospitals in St. Paul itself, like 3 major hospitals. You had United Hospital, you have Regions Hospital, and then you had St. Joseph's. And St. Joseph's and United, St. Joseph's was more in downtown. United was just on the outskirts of downtown, and then Regions was closer to the Capitol building, but just on the other side of the highway.
Okay, but like, what happened, Alice? Like, what happened when they closed it down?
So what happened is they closed it down. They closed down St. Joseph Hospital, and when they did that, because of all the mass amounts of people overdosing and, you know, shootings and
all the patients who were there,
sickness and everything. Now people, like, it's overflowing into the other 2 hospitals where hospital rooms.
You're breaking up.
With they're now having to share hospital beds with you have 2 or 3 patients per room because of it. And
so
United's the only hospital actually doing it. Yeah, United's actually the only one that's actually doing the double people, like in a small room. And I don't know about Regions; they might be doing it too now. But my mom was like, "This is unheard of." Like, and I was like, "Why is this?" Like, and she said that the nurses told her is because ever since St. Joseph's Hospital closed down, they're getting the United Hospital and Regions are getting the overflow.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah, like because they didn't prepare. Because see, like, you know, what's interesting is like, you know, you see
they couldn't have shut it down all at once. They had to do it through attrition, I would think.
Well, no, see what happened.
Don't a bit new, and then when the old go, you finally get them out. But everybody has to go to 2 hospitals.
How do you even know what they're doing with that building? It's a big building.
Well, no, what Alice said earlier was that there were still patients being treated. They just one day shut it down, and all the patients got shipped out to the other 2 hospitals.
All of a sudden?
Well, not all of a sudden got shipped up. No, like, they slowly closed it down, and then some of those who were long, like, you know,
so they did
put to other
down. That
places.
makes more sense.
I mean, they did do it properly, but, like, you're seeing me be hurt.
Well, you're still going to lose a third of your hospital beds.
Yeah. They,
no matter what.
They shut down the hospital. Because, see, what's interesting is that makes me think of our hospital. We used to have, you know, that one hospital, you know, that had the bridge and it was over there. Yeah. And then they built that gargantuan hospital. And then they shut down the other one, demolished, and now it's like a walking park or anything. You know, something like that. Yeah. But, like, they actually prepared. That not only did they build another hospital, they built a bigger one with more facilities and all that stuff to not only take all the people who, you know, we're going to lose that.
That's for an insurance, that hospital.
In all honesty, I think in all honesty that they thought that between United Hospital and Regions Hospital that they'd be able to, like, handle that extra overflow. When in reality, they couldn't. I mean, Minneapolis and St. Paul aren't huge. Like, in the biggest hospital that I know, like, you have a couple big hospitals throughout Minneapolis. There's actually 3 as well over there, which are able to, or maybe 4, but they closed down the one in the capital city, and it's just been, like, detrimental. My mom said United Hospital is not what it used to be. I actually preferred that hospital over any other hospital in the Twin Cities.
You're cutting in and out.
Oh gosh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I do too.
I would prefer like to go to United, but now, like what my mom said, United's not what it used to be. They're overworked, understaffed, and not enough beds and room for people.
Jeez.
And yeah, St. Joseph's was like
pardon me,
one of the high volume ones too. Like, it was St. Joseph's, Regions, and then United, I would say.
But see, here's the point I'm trying to make. Like, why would they close down a hospital if they don't have another one to replace it? You know,
like the economics.
They didn't. They thought that the overflow that the other 2 hospitals. I don't know the whole story. I'm just going by what my mom told me and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, they really closed that down? Why would they?
There's a difference between thinking you can and convincing you they can. There's a difference.
Yeah.
But you can't lose a third of your hospital and think it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it could be strictly economics. It's old, how much money it'd have to be to refurbish it. Who knows? It could be
well, I mean, like, you know, that's fine. But then if you're going to close down the hospital and you have that many patients, then have the infrastructure to handle it when you know, in one, you have another, you know? Like,
well, I think they did add on to They did add on to Regions, but not, like, massively. Yeah. And not only did they not do that, but, like, what was it, a few years back, this I think was back when I was still living in Minnesota, they closed down Bethesda, which was in St. Paul, which was just on the, like, it was just a block and a half away from the Capitol building in St. Paul. And that place was used, you know, people for, like, aftercare. You know, physical therapy that still needed to be in the hospital and everything. People who were recovering from traumatic brain injuries. They closed that down like 5-6 years ago. One of my buddies, I think he's a lead singer of the metal band Impaler. He used to, like, when he wasn't doing like metal and music, he was a physical therapist out there, and they closed down that building for no reason, in my opinion. So now I think the only one I can think of that's like in the Twin Cities area is the Courage Center, which is like out in Golden Valley. Now they're going to be overwhelmed, and there's not enough beds for people who need help.
You say you had a hospital, Bethesda. We have that Bethesda out here also. I don't know if it still exists, but we certainly had that hospital out here. I wonder the name, it was like is that someone in the medical industry that's opened hospitals all around? Because that's such an unusual name.
Well, here's the thing. Bethesda is also the name of a video game company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it is. It's still around. Like, so, like, you said Bethesda, and I'm just like, what the hell do the makers of Fallout have to do with this? Like,
or the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't know. But no, Bethesda was it was an aftercare place. It's for people who are, like, recovering from traumatic injuries, where that, or also people who've like broken their hip. It's like a big physical therapy where people do stay in as patients, inpatient. But it also like has some like other healthcare in there. I don't know all of it, but like
now
it is a cool place.
We only have about like 5 minutes or so left, but like and I'm in the same state of mind as you, Alice. I want to keep the topic.
I feel sorry for you, Alice.
No, I want to keep the topip going about Maui. I want people to continuously think about Maui, what's going on, and I've seen a couple videos recently, and like I'll put them in the underbar.
The Oprah Winfrey.
Well, it's beyond that. Well, apparently Oprah. Speaking of her.
She's a victim now, apparently, of the Maui fires.
Yeah, she's going around and saying, she's getting cyberbullied because, this, that, the other. She owns half of the island of Maui. Like, she
owns more land than anybody else on that fuck.
Now, what's interesting,
she's playing the victim's card now.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Like, she's doing that, and then she's also, her and The Rock as well, have disabled content, the comments, they remove the comment section,
yes, they have.
Nobody can comment. And on top of that, so let me just read the titles of this. Apparently there's poison drinking water in Lahaina now.
They're saying the Chinese have poisoned the water.
Oprah is saying that she's been terrorist, yada yada. She's demanding the world to apologize, but then there's also like a lot of like there's media blackout zones in Lahaina. They don't have cell coverage. They're not getting TV. They're not allowed to do this. They're not allowed to do that. Like while all this was happening, speaking about Oprah, she has all this land. She didn't allow one person to come in, and bunk there when their house was gone. She is not being humanitarian
What about
at
her
all.
hiring? What about her hiring personal firefighters during the fire?
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, like there's a lot of shit going on with Lahaina, and like people also as we're thinking about Lahaina and them, I still want to think about East Palestine.
The whole train thing. Nobody's talking about that.
Nobody's talking about that either.
The train crash and it leaked and all the chemicals and everything. And it destroyed a whole bunch of farmland not owned by Bill Gates and Monsanto and China. Yeah. It's just so happened to all just be land. And this is not the only time. There's a couple years ago, all those food processing plants were randomly exploding. Those were not owned by major corporations. Right. Everything that was destroyed, everything blown up, everything poisoned was not owned by
questionable explosions.
I think this is all
followed up, but you never heard how this happened.
Yeah,
randomly, so many of them.
We lost 18 in 6 months or something crazy. It was nuts.
Well, Pops and Xander, not a.
You're breaking out
again.
I don't think it's a coincidence anymore.
No, it's not because while all this was happening, as I said, Bill Gates, Monsanto, various other billionaires, and China buying up land. And all the there's that whole thing that China bought up that farmland 20 miles away from a military base or something.
Yeah.
What the hell are they doing owning land here?
They also have military training camps up in Canada too. Don't forget that with China.
Well, Canada is allowing Chinese military people to come in there and look at their training with the promise that China will give them the same thing in return, which they won't.
Well, also, let's go. Also touch back. Speaking of China and everything, you remember a couple years back with that false missile crisis out in Hawaii?
Oh, that was North Korea.
Oh, the false.
Are you sure it was North Korea? I don't think it was North Korea. I think it was China.
I don't know. They
claimed it was North Korea, right?
I think it was North Korea. Now they're claiming that it was a complete accident, but there are eyewitnesses, whale watchers, that they saw an explosion, and it was in the same area that it would have been intercepted from China, North Korea, wherever it came from to Hawaii. They saw an explosion, so it was intercepted.
I don't think it was North Korea, to be honest. China.
I honestly have no idea.
I honestly do. I don't. At the time, when it happened.
Here's an interesting theory. What if it was Australia?
How do you feel Australia?
Because the emus conquered Australia, and now they're coming after us.
What if it was France? France has more land than anybody else.
Well, I mean, they do have islands out there. Maybe, I don't know. But wild speculations aside, maybe China, but why would they launch one missile randomly? Like
unless it was accidental.
I don't know. I honestly think that it was. I don't think it was North Korea, to be honest. Especially because of like
random test missile, a dummy to see how we react, like the balloon.
Yeah, that balloon was ridiculous.
Oh shit!
That balloon was ridiculous.
Yeah, the balloon. Oh yeah, we let that go across, half of our our airspace.
It traveled.
It took a private citizen to expose it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was later revealed that the Biden administration knew that it was there, but they were trying to downplay it because they had some climate conference that weekend to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we let it go all the way across the United States before
was some
we
guy
It's out of the Atlantic, then we take it down.
Don't forget, we spent how many millions of dollars and shot how many missiles at it and missed, and then we finally shot it down.
Oh yeah.
We wasted how much taxpayer dollars to shoot that thing down?
Yeah,
instead of
we
were worried that it was going to cause damage to people.
How do you miss a balloon?
Just shoot it down. Dude, you could have shot it down in Montana, and the worst would have happened.
Yeah.
You might have killed some cows, which would have made Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez very happy you killed some cows.
Huh.
Not the rancher, though. The rancher would be, man, you just killed my cattle.
Well, burgers, waste not, want
Well,
not.
I'd rather reimburse, $100,000 worth of something than $4 million.
Speaking of reimbursing things, going back to Maui, what about that $700 per household malarkey?
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Dude, didn't they get more back with the the COVID-19 stimulus?
Oh yeah, that was per person.
Well, what were they going to give the illegal immigrants? Like tens of thousands of dollars
this
each.
Is we're going to give billions
apparently
of
they're
dollars
flooding immigrants into Maui too. Sorry to interrupt.
Dude, we're giving billions of dollars to Ukraine, but we're only going to give $700 to the citizens of Maui.
No, not even to the citizens. $700 per household. Period. Not
per
even the stimulus checks. Stimulus checks were individual persons. If the Lunanai had been Lahinians or something, it's not that we would get $1,400, $700 each. No, $700 period. Per household.
What
the hell are you gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is you also have to provide paperwork. And I was like, dude, my deed to my house burnt up. And the bank that I got my loan from is burnt up too.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Well,
How am I going to get this?
That there's the molten cars.
The $700.
There's videos out there of the cars. You heard about the cars burning up in the field, and the fire got so hot it melted the aluminum. You can see solidified pools of melted aluminum. Yeah. But there's trees next to it that are untouched. Very much like what happened in California. So now people are thinking it's some kind of Chinese space laser.
Or not per se Chinese. It could be a false flag.
Yeah,
it could be just our own.
It's for satellite cities and whatnot. But anyway, we are over the hour. Sorry to interrupt. We are over the hour, and I would like to wrap us up here.
We're going to have to continue. We're going to have to continue on the Lahaina conspiracy.
Yeah, I have all the links to all these videos we're going to watch in the Underbar post show. But anyway, Miss Alice, you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, so beep-de-deep-de-doop-boop-up. Thank you for coming to Kicking the Peanut and Cracking the Corn. We love you so much.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, until you catch us next Sunday, we stream this. We'll try to do it every Sunday, or at least every other Sunday. I gotta get on keeping things updated on social network. But we do this every Sunday at 3:00 p.m. Pacific time, which is
4 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Oh wait, no, 6 o'clock. Sorry,
4 p.m. Mountain, 5 Central.
Oh yeah, I'm 6 o'clock. I'm 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Mountain, and 3 o'clock Pacific.
Yes, specifically. I went forward, she went back.
I want the specific.
We covered it twice. If you live in the continental United States and you don't know the time zones yet, you have a problem. But yeah, so yeah. Until then, toodles.
Be cool, stay in school, and don't do drugs.